welcome back to the channel. And today, well, I'm in a raincoat on a night out. Why? Well, it's because we're in Glasgow and we are reviewing a restaurant. So, we were looking on social media for a restaurant and there were so many to choose from. But we're here on a Wednesday and this place came up on all the socials. So it's called Chateux. Now, the reason we're here is because on a Wednesday, they do a deal called steak and frites. Yeah, there's a lot of French going on here. Chateau, frites. Anyway, the deal is you get steak, chips, a sauce and a side for £15 only. Now let's put that into perspective, right? For two of us, that'd be £30. I paid £28 for McDonald's last week. Do you see what I'm saying? Anyway, stick along. We'll show you if this place is worth visiting if you're in the area. Anyway, it's time to go and eat steak and frites. Catch you in there. Chateux X. The Chateux X. Right, Chateux X complete. So let's do a overall review of the place. And I'm gonna give you my very honest thoughts here, and I'm gonna sound very contradictory. So, it cost £79 in total. Now, don't be put off or alarmed by that price. We did have wines, extras, and I'll get onto it, but the fillet steak. So, the food review overall, the fillet steak, let's start with that, £25, fillet steak, chips, carrots, and a peppercorn sauce. The fillet steak itself, it was good. Was it the best steak I've ever had in my life? No, definitely not. I'm not saying that in a really bad way. What I found was with both the steaks is it didn't have that sear. Do you know what I'm talking about? That sear on the outside of the steak and then sort of based in butter, that sort of flavour, and it was a little bit grey looking, which suggests to me either some sort of like oven cook or low heat cook. That's what it felt like. So that the fillet steak, it was good, it wasn't mind-blowing. Let's move on to the flat iron. So bear in mind the fillet steak's £25 and this is a £15 deal. The flat iron is £15. Now for the £15 I got the flat iron, chips, onions and peppercorn sauce. The flat iron steak. Now listen, it's a cheaper cut of meat. Let's start with that. I found it quite chewy, to be honest with you. It was quite a chewy meat. And again, similar to the fillet steak, it did not have that sear on it. It did not have that seared taste on the outside, and you can tell when a steak's been seared and covered in butter and garlic at the end of it. You can tell it didn't have that. Again, it looked slightly grey, which would suggest to me it was cooked on a lower heat, getting at this here. Now let's move on to the sides themselves, right? Because this is where I'm getting contradictory. And we'll do an overall score shortly. The sides. The carrots were fresh. They were absolutely fantastic, the carrots. The fries, they were definitely homemade. Again, they were absolutely fantastic. The peppercorn sauce, nice consistency, really good flavour, creamy, peppery, everything you'd want from a peppercorn sauce. The salad again, fresh, balsamic vinegar, absolutely beautiful. The sides were fantastic, but the steaks weren't showstoppers. Now, I don't know what you're going to expect for £15. Should we expect more? I don't know. But we need to put things into perspective here, right? If you go to the Wetherspoons down the road, you're probably paying upwards of 18 quid for a steak. A main meal for a pub, frozen, 14, 15 quid. If you are going to judge this based on that, then for value, it's a high score. It is. The meat's slightly tough. It's not the best steak in the world. The sides are fresh. It is a very solid meal. So from a value perspective, I think it's absolutely brilliant value. I think it's a really, really good price. So it's not a showstopper. It's not going to blow your mind. You're going to have better steaks out there. But if you just have two £15 steaks and a glass of water, which is complimentary free, there's a service charge 10%. It's going to cost you 33 quid. Put it into perspective. If you order an Uber Eats for a lot of takeaways, it's going to cost around 30 quid. The atmosphere is nice. The service is fantastic. It's a very, very nice venue inside. There's a couple of rooms in there. I think it's fantastic value. So if I had to give this an overall score, and this is why I'm saying it's very contradictory, and I do apologise on that, but if I had to give it an overall score, I'm going to give it a 8.1, simply for the value perspective. It's the steak itself didn't blow my mind. I hope it was just I didn't have the best experience with it, and it's normally completely solid. What I would mention is every single table was full. Every single table. When we went to book it, there was 2 slots available, 4:30 or 7:30. We chose the 7:30 one, of course. Overall though, it was an enjoyable experience. The service was great. The food overall, it was good. Do you know? So what I'm going to say to you is, would I recommend it? I think, listen, if you're in the area, I would say definitely give it a go Monday to Wednesday. But it's not show-stopping, and that's why I'm a bit contradictory on this one. Anyway, hope you've enjoyed this review. I hope it gives you a bit of insight, and if you're debating on where to go, and it's Monday to Wednesday, give it a go. Thank you for watching. If you can leave a like, comment or subscribe, honestly we really do appreciate it, and we enjoy reading the comments. And if you've got any recommendations on where to go, or if there's somewhere where you want to go but you don't want to waste the money on it, let us do it for you. Anyway, thank you very much for watching, and we will catch you at the next one.